Today we're doing lesson 10.3, area of triangles. The essential question, how can you find the area of triangles? So the area of a rectangle or parallelogram is length times width. Since we are doing triangles, and in a triangle, a rectangle is made up of two triangles. So you're basically finding the length times the width and then cutting it in half. So we're going to be using this formula today. It says any parallelogram can be divided into two congruent triangles. The area of each triangle is half the area of the parallelogram. So the area of the triangle is half the product of its base and height. Parallelograms are kind of like a rectangle that has been pushed over slightly. So a parallelogram is like, that's not a very good line. All right, let's try that again. Just like that. That's a parallelogram, and you can either draw a line like this, cutting them in half, or draw a line like that, cutting them in half. Okay. The Flatiron Building in New York is well known for its unusual shape. The building was designed to fit the triangular plot of land formed by 22nd Street, Broadway, and Fifth Avenue. The diagram shows the dimensions of the triangular foundation of the building. What is the area of the triangle? So if we have are using the formula area equals 1/2 times, what's the base of this triangle, Katana?
190 feet.
190 feet, perfect. Write a tally mark. And what is the height of this triangle, Chloe?
79.
79 feet. Okay, so we're going to multiply 100, let's start with the whole numbers. 190 times 79. And that equals 15,010. So the area equals 1/2 of 15,010. You know, when you multiply a whole number times a fraction, you can put a 1 on the bottom, and then it just becomes 1 times 15,010, which is 15,010, and 2 times 1, which is 2. So anytime you're finding 1/2 of a number, it is the same as dividing by 2. What do you need?
I don't have one. I think Tyler took one.
No, you didn't have one because you were not sitting there when I passed them out. Okay, so anytime you are multiplying 1/2 times a number, it's the same as dividing by 2. So 15,010 divided by 2 equals 7,505. So the area equals 7,505. And since we had feet times feet, what is the label we're going to use, Jeremiah?
Feet squared.
Feet squared, good. We're going to tally mark down. So first we took 190. We're going to make that a little bit thicker so it can be seen a little better. 190 and 79, that got us 15,010. And then when we divided it, that got us 7,505. So the area of the triangle is 7,505 feet squared. Over here at the right, it says, how can you identify the base and height of the triangle? So I'm going to have you copy this down. The base is one of the sides of the triangle, and the height forms a 90-degree angle with the base. The base is one of the sides of the triangle, and the height forms a 90-degree angle with the base. Do you see in that triangle this little box right here? That's what indicates that it's a 90-degree angle. Okay. If you didn't get that finished, I'll come back in a little bit and let you copy it down. Find the area of the triangle. Okay, so this triangle, she can do it in a little bit. I'll put it back up. Area equals 1/2 base times height. When they're stuck together, remember the implied operation is multiplication. So these are all stuck together. So when we break them out, what is the base of this triangle? Reese.
4 1/2 foot.
4.5 feet. And what is the height, Natalie?
3.5 feet.
3.5 feet. So we have area equals 1/2 times 4.5 times 3.5, right? We can't multiply mixed numbers together. We have to do something to them first. Can anyone tell me what we have to do to these before we can multiply them? Lily?
Turn them into improper fractions.
Yes. Turn them into improper fractions. So think about for a second, if you have 4 wholes and then half, okay, how many halves is that? There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So 4.5 is the same as 9 halves, while 3.5 is the same as 2, 4, 6, 7 halves, right? I've taught you guys a trick before where you multiply the denominator times the whole number. 2 times 4, which is 8, plus 1 more is 9. And 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, 7 halves. So now we have 1/2 times 9 halves times 7 halves. Area equals. So we'll start here. What's 1 times 9?
9.
And 9 times 7?
63.
63. And then 2 times 2? 4. And then 4 times 2? 8. So we end up with 63 over 8. So we had 9 halves and 7 halves, and we got 63 over 8. It says rewrite the fraction of it as a mixed number. How do we rewrite an improper fraction as a mixed number, Briley?
You have the numerator by the denominator.
Yep. Tally mark for you. 63, the numerator, divided by the denominator, 8. How many times does 8 go into 63? Shout it out. 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. 63 minus 56. You can't take away 6 from 3. So we go and borrow from this, make it a 5. 13 minus 6 is 7. 5 minus 5 is nothing. So 7 is less than 8. There's nothing left to bring down. So 7 comes around and becomes the numerator. 7 comes up as your numerator. 8 follows it around as the denominator. So you get area equals 7 and 7/8. 7 and 7/8 feet squared. Daniela is decorating a triangular pennant for her wall. The area of the pennant is 225 inches squared. This time they are giving us the area. So this is similar to when we had equations that we had to solve. We have to sometimes get variables by themselves. Okay, are you caught up? Okay, so if we have area equals 1/2 base times height, right? They're giving us the area, 225 inches squared, equals 1/2 times, we've got the base, which is 30, times h. They want us to find the height. This is the trickiest part, so pay close attention. We come over here and we've got two things that we can do that operation first. What is 1/2 of 30? 15. So now we've got 225 equals 15 times h. We need to get that h by itself. What is being done to the h? It's being multiplied by 15. So what do we need to do to both sides? Wyatt.
Divide by 15.
Divide by 15. Okay. 225 divided by 15 is 15 equals h. So the height of this triangle is 15 what? Inches, not inches squared, because that's the area. It's 15 inches. So we plug in 225 for the area and then 30 for the base. 1/2 times 30 was 15. And what's being done to it is 15 is being multiplied by h, so we divide by 15 on both sides. That gets us 15 equals h, so the height is 15 inches squared. How could you check and make sure that you got it correct? Lily?
Multiply 15 times 30 times 1/2.
Plug it in, right? Yep, plug it in. So if we go back here and we plug in 1/2 times 30 times 15. 30 times 15 is what? 3 times 15 is 45 with a 0 behind it. And then we take 1/2 of 450. 450 divided by 2. What's half of 400? 200. What's half of 50? 25. So that is correct. Okay. Find the area of the triangle. Area equals 1/2 base times height. They've given us the base of 14 and the height is what? Skylar, what's the height of this triangle on number 1?
8 centimeters.
8 centimeters. So now, remember with multiplication, you can do it in any order. So I'm going to start with half of 14. What's half of 14? 7. And then multiply 7 times 8, which gives us 56 centimeters squared. On the next one, they want us to find the height, so that's the tougher one when they you've got to do some extra steps. So we're using A equals 1/2 B times H. I always write the formula at the top because that way I can plug in as I go through. It's a good idea to always do that. They've given us the area, which is 132 equals 1/2 comes down times, we've got the base, which is 22 times, we don't know what height is, so H. So now, 132, there's nothing to do there right now. 1/2 of 22 is 11 times H. What's being done to the H? Multiplied by 11. So what do we do on both sides?
Divide by 11.
Very good. And 132 divided by 11 is 12. 12 equals, these have canceled each other out and leave us with H. Okay, so we're going to come up here and copy that down. Area equals 1/2 B BH. 132 equals 1/2 times 22 times H. 132 equals 11H divided by 11, divided by 11. 12 equals H. So H equals 12 inches. Okay, on the next one, it wants us to find the area. We've got the base and the height. So area equals 1/2. What is the base? Shout it out. 27 times what is the height? 40. Okay, so 1/2 of 27 is 27 is an odd number, so it's not really easy to take half of that, but watch this. Remember, with multiplication, you can flip-flop them, so I can put that 40 next to the half instead. 40 times 27. What's 1/2 of 40? 20 times 27. Basic fact, 2 times 27 is 54 with a 0 behind it. Area equals 540 millimeters squared. And I want you to write out the problem so that you'll have a good example. Area equals 1/2 BH. Area equals 1/2 times 27 times 40. And area equals 1/2 of 40 times 27. Area equals 20 times 27. So the area equals 540 millimeters squared. On the next one, we've got to find the area again. So area equals 1/2 times base, 5.5 times height. This is another one that I would prefer to have the even number here. So I'm going to flip-flop and do 4 times 5.5. What's half of 4? 2. 2 times 5.5. So if we come over here and do 5.5 times 2, gives you 11. So the area equals 11 millimeters squared. We'll do area equals 1/2 times 4 times 5.5, just to be quicker. Area equals 2 times 5.5. Area equals 11 millimeters squared. If you did not finish that, I'll put it back up after I'm done with the video. Okay, so on the next one we have, they've given us the area and the base. We've got to find the height. So the area is 52.5 equals 1/2. The base is 5 inches times 5 times h. What is 1/2 of 5? 2.5 times h. What's being done to h? It's being multiplied by 2.5, so we're going to divide by 2.5. And 52.5 divided by 2.5. I'll pull that up on the calculator. 52.5 divided by 2.5 equals 21. So the height, let's see here. So 21 equals H. Wait, yeah. So 21 inches. Okay. Do you notice anything different about number 6? Reese?
They're different units of measurement.
Yes, there are different units of measurement. They tried to trick us. Nice job, Reese. So we have millimeters for the base, but the area is given to us in centimeters. So that means we want the base and the height in centimeters. So if you remember, how many millimeters are in 1 centimeter? How many little tiny millimeters are there in 1 centimeter?
10.
10. Yes, Ian. That'll be a point when we get done. 10. So 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. How many millimeters do we have on the base? 80 millimeters. So remember when we set up conversion factors like this, we can say 80 times 1 is 80 divided by the extra digit is 10. So in 80 millimeters, there are 8 centimeters. So I'm going to cross out 80 millimeters and put 8 centimeters and use that as the base since our area needs to be in centimeters. Area equals 1/2 base times height. The area in this problem is 17.2 times 1/2 times 8 times h. What's half of 8? 4. So 17.2 equals 4h. What's being done to the h?
Multiplied by 4.
So what do we do to both sides?
Divide by 4.
So on your calculators, type in 17.2 divided by 4.
4.3.
4.3. The height is 4.3 centimeters. Since we converted that millimeter to centimeters, then we know that, and our areas in centimeters squared, we know our answer is also in centimeters. The height of a triangle is twice the base. So picture that a second. The height of a triangle is twice the size of the base. So we've got a little base and the height is twice as high. Okay, I don't know if that's exact, but the area is 625. Carson says the base of the triangle is at least 50 inches. Is his estimate reasonable? So if the base is 50 and the height is twice that, what would the height have to be?
100.
100. So let's figure out, and the area of this triangle is supposed to be 625. Let's see with the base and height of this if that would work. So area equals 1/2 of the base of 50 and 100. What's half of 50?
25.
And 25 times 100 would be 2,500. Is 2,500 close to 625?
Not really.
No. So, his answer is not reasonable, and here's what you're going to write down. No, because if the base were 50, the height would be 100, and the area would be 2,500. 2,500 is much greater than 625, so 50 is too big for the base. After you copy that down, go ahead and turn to the very back page. I'm going to stop the video there. If you're watching the video, your assignment is the back page.